Welcome back, everybody. It's Conger Live, and again we have another TMNT Mutant Madness video. Today I want to touch on some of the things that are happening with the new trials, and I want to go do some PvP with the mutation characters. So let's go get into it. Okay, first up we got the Trial of Courage. We still got a day left, a little bit more time than that, but not much more than a day. I've now been put into 6th place, which isn't horrible, but you can see Aviv up here with 92 waves. Do you like beats with 51 waves? These guys, even though I love you guys, there was an exploit that was found, and I know that they are using it, so it's really sad that the devs have not been able to do anything about this yet. I know a lot of players on the Discord are asking for this first event to just totally be scrapped because the rewards for first place are huge. So if I could make the exploit work for me, I would want to climb up there for 150 gold bits too. I mean, that's where it's at, right? Now, it's a huge drop off from 4th to 6th. Now, I'm still in 6th, so I can hold on to those 10, but 150, 175, 10? Come on, give us like 25 or something, like a little bit more than that. It's so sad, 5 and then none down here. So hopefully some of you guys are still doing okay. A couple of things we found out with being able to place. It was definitely very hard to get past 18. You had to be able to have a strong enough squad to beat the wave 19, because wave 19 and both wave 20 were huge power boosts, which I still haven't gotten word if that's intentional or if that itself is a bug. And then waves 21, 22, 23 were actually fairly easy. They didn't have the power boosts, although it did seem that the power boosts were inconsistent on consecutive waves. I've made it to 21, beat 21 quite a few times. 22 sometimes gave me problems, but my best was 23. And the other thing is there's a way of getting more time. Look, we have 11 minutes and 40 seconds from Thadjin here. I was able to get over 10 minutes myself on one of my alternates, but from my alternate account, but I did end up making it past 19 to get 19 there. 6th place as well for there, but here got 23. Feels pretty good. I hope I hold on to that 6th place in this last day. I'm going to run one really quickly. Now, one of the things we found out, because time does actually count differently whether you're in 4x or 1x. So I wanted to kind of show you guys that, and this is why in other game modes I like to play in 1x, because the time does move much quicker than 4x. It actually moves like 16 times faster or something like that. It's exponential. So effects that players, the heroes put on that have a certain amount of time that they last, they do last the proper amount of time in 1x, but in 2x and 4x, they are, the amount of time that they last is actually even shorter because the way that time passes in the game, from what I can tell based on this. But what we've done is we actually take auto off and go into 4x, because the 4x causes this to count up much faster, this counter time, and then auto skills turning that off, so that way you're not doing as much damage or killing the enemies as fast, to try and get more time to end up hopefully being at the top of your level that you're at. Now, of course, those difficult waves, 18, 19, 20, etc., you're going to want to turn your auto back on so you can use all your specials then. This is not the squad that I made it to 24 with, by the way. I was not using Renette or Ninja Splinter or Taka, but I was using Mona Lisa and Attila. But I did find that this particular setup here helped me get a little bit more time in the bank. So just some observations for you guys to see, because you can see here it's running quite a bit of time, much more time than has actually passed. I'm not going to show you the 1x, a whole 1x run, because it would take too long for the video. But if you want to go test it out for yourself, it's very cheap to use a token to play it. So it looks like here we are at 19. I'm going to turn auto back on. We get the special from Ninja Splinter, because it's the first time I'm using him on this device. and we're still getting destroyed. So there's a lot of RNG involved because the waves are not specific to the characters in each waves are not specific. So you have to also get good RNG to get the weaker, so to speak, lineups to be able to move all the way up, which is what's happened here. But these guys, they got the bug where Michelangelo shows up saying that there's a connection issue, and then they're able to continue to climb, fighting the same power for each wave as the previous wave without any sort of increase in power, being able to move up. So devs, I hope that you guys are doing something about that. All right, so what we're gonna do is let me just double check my heroes. We're gonna go to Mutation. We got 4 characters on Mutation again this week, pretty awesome. Donatello, Splinter, April, and Ace Duck. Now I have them all at 4 stars, 250 for 3 of them with Ace Duck at 225. I just wanted to double check. I got gear on them all. Some equipment equipped. Yes, blue equipment across the board. See, I don't have equipment on Ace Duck, so we do want to make sure that he's equipped there for our PvP. So we're going to run into PvP right now, go to the lair, and do some Dimension Clash with the mutated characters. So brand new, it says I'm at 43. I don't expect to get first place this week. I did get first place last week, which is really, really nice. I can do that quite often. But because I'm not at the very top of this bracket, I should be at like 199 for the best potential in trophies. So I probably won't get first place this week, but we'll see how we do on day 1. Now, one of the things I have to make sure I do is go ahead and take this back into X1 because I want the abilities, the time-sensitive abilities, to last to their fullest. Because if you go and just double check how time works, because you can see that counter in the new Trials mode, the 4x does cause the time to move much more quickly, so you actually get less value out of play in X4. Of course, if a battle is easy, you know you're going to win, go ahead and run it to save yourself the real-time IRL, right? So the first battle, pretty easy win. Gonna keep on rocking and rolling. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Don't forget to ninja kick the like button and subscribe for more TMNT Mutant Madness content. If you want to watch the battles, go ahead and stick around and watch. If not, I'm not going to blame you for leaving. There's no more information or news happening other than just witnessing these mutation characters. Of course, my 5th character is Shredder because I also have him at 250, have decent gear on him. I was kind of toying with the fact, maybe do I want to throw Attila in because we found him to be very, very useful. Could potentially move up to the S tier in the next tier list, not quite sure. But definitely getting lots and lots of great use out of Attila. But because of where I'm at in the brackets, and let's see, where is my Shredder? He's right there. See, he is the strongest. Let's go ahead and, why not? Let's throw Attila in there. We're still going to do just as well. Getting a little bit of performance lag there. Sorry about that. $41K from Ace Duck with his egg bomb there with his ultimate. And it seems like he does better when there's clumps of people and does more people to do it to. But yeah, 4 times 40 is 160K. That's huge. That's great. Of course, we want to have this happen as quickly as possible. Being at the beginning of the week, setting myself up with the proper blue shield rating, class rating they call that officially. You know, this first couple days are going to be fairly easy when it comes to wins. So as you can see, Attila's working just fine. You know, I'll have to figure out when I start fighting more challenging opponents whether Attila or Shredder is going to be better off. Now I do have that 5-star Shredder drive in my inventory, and when I get to those 1,000 bits, my intention was to open a 5-star Shredder. But if I could get my hands on a 5-star Attila drive, I would use those bits on Attila over Shredder. I think I would, because I think in the longevity, as the game continues to evolve and change, Attila's kit might actually hold up longer, because Shredder's been here since day one. Attila's a much newer character. I think that I don't have access to all the raw stats, which I would appreciate if the devs would provide that for us, because we have ways of calculating what their stats would be based on their turtle power if we knew what their raw base stats were, such as strength and speed, things like that. So it'd be nice to have that information available, but I'd be willing to bet that the newer characters are getting a slightly higher amount of base stats because the devs know that they're not going to have any dimension level to be able to compete with the characters that have been around since the beginning. Like my Donatello has 400 plus, 500 plus dimension level. I know players that have over 1,000 dimension level on some of their characters, and of course, granted, you're going to need a lot, especially once you get to 5 stars, because of the way the multipliers work. So because of that, I think newer characters are going to end up having a slightly better base stat so that they can compete now, but in the long run, they will outshine the characters that have been around since the beginning. Not 100% on that, this is merely speculation, but that's kind of what I think is happening here. Also, the kits, they're trying to make the kits more useful and versatile with the new characters, because they can't really release a character that does the same thing as another character, otherwise what's the point, right? So they're constantly going to be having to add variation and also a little extra oomph in those kits to make the new characters desirable so that people will spend money on them, etc. You know, it's kind of unfortunate that Rat King and Technodon with their summoning don't really cut the mustard, so to speak. Although, thinking now about trials, I wonder how, if using them might actually be really nice, because by the time you get to 19, so to speak, maybe you have 4 or 5 rat swarms, or the max of 6 rat swarms, or 3, 4 turrets on the board to help get some extra damage out. But of course, it doesn't really matter how many bodies are on the battlefield if you don't have enough damage or survivability to get to the next wave. I think I'm gonna have to go test that. If anybody's used either of those characters in trials, let me know what your experience is in the comments down below. If you're using all 4 of the mutated characters this week, let me know in the comments down below. If not, which ones are you using? What does your lineup look like? So here we are with our final battle. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. We were in 18th place before this, and then even after winning here, we got flawless, mind you, all wins, all 5 heroes surviving, so the maximum potential score based on our turtle power. But because we started at 188 instead of, say, 199, there's others in our bracket who probably started at a higher blue shield rating, which is why we can only make it to 4th place. That is why the disparity here of 1,000 points, it's really, really close, but that just those blue shield rating, had I set myself up a little bit better to be closer to 200, I could have been up on the top. So, and you can see it's very, very close. A lot of people know how to tank properly to get prepared for the next week. So probably going to stay around 4th place. Maybe I can move up to 3rd or 2nd, depending on the performance of these other players. Not really that concerned about it this week, but hope you guys are having fun with this. Hope you guys are doing all right with trials. Hopefully the tips I gave you about trying to get some more time. You can also run trials with only 3 characters, or 4 if you need to try and get some more time. I think how I got 10 minutes is I only ran 3. I ran like Trag and April and Splinter or something like that. I don't remember. It's been a while. So that's it. I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna cut it. Let's game smarter here. Don't forget to ninja kick the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.